Hello, and welcome to episode 13 of the Spicy Homemaker Podcast. My name is Melissa, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Spicy Homemaker. Today is Saturday, February 6th, and if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking out my podcast. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so glad you've chosen to spend some time with me. Today we're going to cover some things that are going on in the KALs, winners of KALs, current KALs, knit-alongs. Then we're going to cover a little bit of community news, what's happening in our community, the crafting community, and some FOs. I have 3, and some whips, and then we'll finish up with a little bit of stash enhancement. So let's dive right into some winners for the knit-alongs we have going on. First of all, I want to cover the winners of the Highland Peak shawls. I discussed that last podcast for the Comfort Knit-Along. Mina from the Knitting Expat graciously donated her Highland Peaks shawl collection. There's one pattern in the worsted weight version and another pattern for fingering weight yarn. And I said the way to win that, because I wanted it to go to someone who wanted to actually knit the pattern. I didn't want to give it to somebody who maybe wasn't interested in knitting a shawl right now. So I asked whoever wanted to, the first person who would message me on Ravelry could win the shawl. They would win the shawl, the first person. And yeah, so La Jolla Girl on Ravelry, also known as Nancy, she answered really, really fast. And right behind her was Sarah, she is Valentine Arts on Ravelry. They were within minutes of each other, but they were so incredibly fast. They must have watched the podcast within minutes of it posting. As soon as they heard it, they must have messaged me. So I was only giving one pattern away, but then I went ahead and gifted Sarah another pattern, the same pattern, because I just thought it was very impressive how quick they were. So like I said, you never know what I'm going to do with prizes. Everything's subject to change around here, usually in a very good way. But thank you so much, Mina, for donating your pattern. I've shown it, the shawl, a few times on my podcast. I really enjoyed it. And 35 pairs of socks. For those of you, if you have been living under a rock and have not heard about this, Mina just knit 35 pairs of socks in January, along with, I believe her name is Marcia of Fairy Little Podcast. They had a contest for January to see who could knit the most socks, and they both knit 35 pairs of socks. Wow. That is superhuman. So anyways, Knit My Mitts Knit Along. Okay, that is also done, and I never showed the prizes for that, and I do have prizes for that. I do not have them with me, but the people who were drawn for that was Library Blondie, also Melissa, and Dariana, who is from Ireland. So I'll contact you, you contact me, we'll get in touch and discuss your prize options. So congratulations, thank you for participating in the KAL, and moving right along to the Comfort Knit-Along. There was a lot of KALs going on, if you haven't noticed. The Comfort Knit-Along is going on currently in the Spicy Homemaker Podcast Group on Ravelry, and that started January 1st, and there is a new end date. We are going to end that the end of February. I know I said I was going to go through the end of March, but I'm changing it, because I'm starting a new one with Brittany from the Sip and Stitch podcast. And it's going to be pretty involved and have lots going on with it, lots of prizes. We've been planning pretty hardcore, so I really want to concentrate on that knit along. So I just want to wrap that up at the end of February. I think it should work just fine for everybody involved. But we'll still be giving out prizes. In fact, I just gave out a prize February 1st to Richard's PJ1, that's the name on Ravelry, and that is Jody. She won the Awesome Bags by Granny. She got to choose any medium-sized bag in Awesome Bags by Granny's Bags by Awesome Granny on Etsy. She got to pick any bag she wants. And we also have a coupon running from now till, I'll actually have to talk to her. She was saying, I think April 1st. I'll check to make sure. It's definitely running through the end of February. Comfort 15 is the coupon code. So you can go to Bags by Awesome Granny at any time and get a bag, anything you want, for 15% off. So use it. That's a good coupon, good discount. And I did a review of her bags on my last podcast. Needless to say, I talked about her. I'll show you the bag right now. This bag being my current favorite bag. I really love this bag. Just love it. I love the fabric and I love that it's canvas, and I just, if you want a full review, definitely check out the podcast before this one, episode 12. So yes, there is that. Okay, that is it for knit-alongs. Thank you for everybody who has been participating in the knit-alongs. It has been a lot of fun. If you haven't joined our Ravelry group, you should. There's lots of good chatter over there, lots of things to see, people posting all kinds of great projects, and it's just fun. I'm kind of shifting gears here a little bit. I know when I talk about what's going on in our community, it's usually, something that is exciting, fun, new, that kind of thing. And this is a little bit different. And I just heard about this today on 2 different podcasts. Helen Stewart of the Curious Handmade podcast and the Knitting Pipeline podcast. I listened to both those this morning. And they both discussed Patty Joy, who is the maker of the Fish Lips Kiss heel pattern on Ravelry. That is a pattern for a heel of a sock that she sells for $1. And lots and lots of people like it. Lots and lots of people talk about it. Kristen from Woolenvine uses it often. Mina from the Knitting Expat, she uses it. There's a lot of people who use it and speak highly of it. I have bought the pattern, but I have not used it. Now, the pattern is 16 pages long, and that seems intimidating, but you really could just go to the actual pattern portion of the page. There's one page of it, and do that without doing all the rest of the stuff. The other stuff is just being very, very precise mathematically, and it's talking about theory, and it's talking about how she came up with the idea and the concept and why. And if you're kind of a science geek or a math geek, you'll really enjoy reading it. I did. But if not, it's okay. Just look for the page with the notes on how to do the heel, and it's not hard. I say that, but I haven't done it. A lot of people have. I'm going to do it. Point of this is, back to Patty Joy. She has on her profile page, she is the Socks Therapist, SOX Therapist, all one word, and she has her own Ravelry group for this, and if you go to either of those, the group or her profile page, you'll find more information on what I'm about to talk about. But she is battling stage 3 breast cancer. It's very aggressive. It's some really bad stuff. She's trying to raise money for two things mainly. The medical bills. The last thing I just read was that she's went to the Mayo Clinic, and she's got a really bad case, and they've never seen one like hers. So she was saying since May she's only had 1 week where she didn't have medical appointments. I can't remember how many procedures she's had, 5 major surgeries. I mean, it's really some serious stuff. As anybody who has experienced cancer knows that this is, cancer sucks. I mean, it just does, right? And then she's also trying to raise money for a family reunion to get all her kids and grandkids for a Mom's Going to Beat Cancer family reunion. And she never charges more than $1 for any pattern. And anybody who's a pattern maker knows how phenomenal that is. And so I just thought that I'm going to open up a thread called I think we should support her. That's my bottom line on this. If you've never tried the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, I would encourage you to buy the pattern. It's $1. And I'm going to open a thread called Show Me Your Fish Lips. And there's no prizes here. I've never knit it. There's quite a few people in the group I've heard say they want to knit the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. I say let's do it. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's share our progress. If you are knitting socks and you put the Fish Lips Kiss Heel on it, show it. Show me your fish lips. Let's do this. Let's show her some support. And also, I'm going to do something similar that I did with the Highland Peaks shawl. The first 5 people who message me on Ravelry, I will gift you the Fish Lips Kiss Heel pattern. So just put something in the subject line so I know what it is, like FLK for Fish Lips Kiss. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, and I know that a couple of the other podcasters are doing something similar, and I just thought this would be a great way for us to show the awesomeness of the knitting community. So yeah, that is it for community news for today. I think that that will be good, but I am moving right on into finished objects. In case this might seem a little fast today, which considering the last episode, which was epically long, I'm having some technical difficulties. Every time before I podcast, I always do like a little test clip and I put it in and see how it's going, and like 6 times this was not coming out well. So try to slow it down a little bit. Don't want to be going extra fast on you, but just a little heads up on why that might seem a little different right now. But okay, finished objects. All right, so I'm actually going to show you a work in progress because I'm hoping that I will insert a picture here. So I knit the Bluebird of Happiness, and it's done, but it's already flew away to a new home, and I started another one immediately. First time knitting the Bluebird of Happiness. I know lots of people have done it. I never have. And I gotta tell you, I loved this pattern. It's so well written. It was so easy. It was fast. It was just such a treat. I really enjoyed it. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by Sarah Elizabeth Kellner. And I went with everything she suggested on the pattern. I used 3.5 millimeters DPNs. They were wooden chow-goos, bamboo I should say. US 4s for the same US sizing, and I did it with, I have a little works in progress because I'm doing another one, so I'm going to show you that just to show you something like in real time. So I know we're in FOs, but I'm going to show you this whip too. This is with Andy from Andre Sue Knits. It's her homespun. She sent me a little package of goodness not too long ago, and it had her homespun, and I just thought, or hand spun, homespun. Anyways, I just thought this was perfect for it. And it's blue and it's got pink in it. I'm gonna show you the ball. It's got like gold stellina in it. There's some yellow and black and gray, and it knits up beautifully. And oh my gosh, Andy, thank you so much. This was so perfect for this project. I love it. So I have enough for another bird, and I'm excited. So there was that, and I'm gonna do, so when I was doing a picture on Instagram for this, I stayed up so late trying to get like the perfect Instagram photo. And yeah, I ended up putting on a ball of brown yarn to kind of make it look like a nest. And I thought it turned out really cute, but it got me to thinking, I think I'm going to try to felt like one of them little brown bowls, but I'm gonna make it look like a nest and put it like a little felted nest and put my little Bluebird of Happiness, maybe a couple, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to do that. I was gonna gift this one too, but I don't think I can. I mean, it's hand spun from Andy, and I want one for myself, but I also think I'll be knitting more of these, I'm sure of it, that I also want to knit it in fingering weight. I was watching the girls from O Loops, Sarah and Lydia. And I believe Sarah is the one who knit a little tiny one in fingering weight. I mean, it was so tiny and so cute. And I thought, oh, I got to try that too. So yeah, fun. If you want something fun and quick, I highly recommend this pattern. I think the hardest thing on there would be wraps and turns if you've never done it. And I mean, they're not hard. Wraps and turns are not hard. And it describes it in detail. You can actually read it and follow those instructions explicitly, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I think a beginner could do this. I really do. Okay, moving on to my next FO. So I did the sockhead hat. This is something I talked about a while back. I told you, focus is my year for, or my word for this year. And I talked about doing a sockhead hat a while back. And one of my things on focusing, especially for what I want to knit, is hats for me and my family. And so I finished my first one. This is for my son, well, so funny story. This, first of all, is, this fits me. The brim is, or the ribbing I should say, is about maybe 2 inches. It's not to fold up. My son doesn't like to fold his hat brims up, so I intentionally did that. It is knit, this part, the gray with the black, that is Hedgehog Fibers typewriter colorway. And the colors in here, it's like a neon green, greenish yellow, and a blue. The blue is a mini skein from Zia Wools. And the yellow greenish color here is a mini skein I got from my friend Melissa in a swap. So this was a great pattern too. Great pattern. I am a tight knitter and this turned out fine. I cast on 144 stitches. I didn't change the needle sizes recommended in the pattern. In fact, I used the 3.25 millimeter needles, and I used this little guy here, which I really liked. It's the little circular 16-inch needle. And this was great. I really enjoyed knitting this with this size of a needle. And when I got to the top, I switched out to DPNs. But yeah, I'm gonna do this again. But what was funny about this is, so I knit this for my son Kylan, and he loves colorful things. I mean, he loves tie-dye, he just loves the loud, fun colors. And so I intentionally put color in it for him because I thought he wouldn't like it with, let me see if I've got I know I have the ball of yarn here. Just the gray and black, which is beautiful. I mean, this is a beautiful neutral. I really like this a lot. But the funny thing is when I knit it and I gave it to him, I could tell he wasn't really crazy about it, but he was being really nice about it. And I thought, you know, well, what's the matter? You know, just tell me. He says, well, you know, maybe next time without the blue and the green. But then my youngest son, Ashton, who is 9, said, I'll take it. Can I have it? And he put it on right away and he loves it. Hopefully I can get a picture of him with this too soon. So yeah, this was knit for my son, oldest son, Kylan. It's going to my son, Ashton. And I told him I could knit him the same hat without the stripes. I have enough yarn for it. So let's see, is there anything else about this? I mean, it's just fingering weight, easy. I put stripes in this just to jazz it up a bit, but next one won't. Definitely a comfort knit. It's like knitting a sock, I guess, without a heel. Decreases were easy. Free pattern. Yeah. Free pattern by Kelly McClure. Sockhead hat. I'm sure you've seen this too. A little late to this game. And the Bluebird of Happiness. But quick, fast, fun. Liked it a lot. Okay, third finished object. Well, half a finished object, right? It's one sock. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have heard about this already. Okay, so this is for my sister. I'm knitting her a pair of socks in the Mustache Yarn Everything is Awesome colorway. And this is my first time with an afterthought heel. So yeah, this year I'm trying to figure out which kind of vanilla sock recipe I like best. What heel do I like? How big of a cuff? What kind of toe? You know. So afterthought heel was the next thing I was going to tackle. All right, so yes, to knit, the thing that appealed to me about the afterthought heel was that you knit this whole piece, you know, really like the hat. It's really fast. The toe was my normal toe decrease. I mean, it's just you know, the 2 decreases on either side, Kitchener in the middle here. Really like how that turned out. I'm really pleased. The last 2 pairs of socks I've made, the toes are just, I think they're turning out very nicely. I think I've got that down. And I do like this toe. I might try a couple different ones just to make sure. But I despise the afterthought heel. To the point of, I may not knit another one of these. I may just call this the only object. I don't think I'll rip it out. I don't know. I have enough to knit like some socks with some coordinating heels and toes. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't. I'll tell you why I hate it so much. Is it hard? No, it's not. But so what you do, I used Leslie from the Knit Girls. She has an afterthought tutorial, which I thought was really good. And there's tips out there. There's ways, I'll show you a hole here that was created. I sewed up the hole on the other side a little bit, which that can happen on heels. And there's tricks out there to make sure you don't have a hole. Lots of stuff out there. You can Google it and find all kinds of tutorials on it. But, so, okay. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know if that'll show up, but there's a little bit of hole here that I'll probably sew up if I knit the other sock. You knit the whole tube and you put in a piece of waste yarn. You just knit it in. When you're done knitting down to your toe and you finish it off, you come in and you pick up stitches on either side with 2 DPNs. And then you pull that waste yarn out. Then you divide up your stitches. Well, if you're magic looping, you don't have to. I DPN it, so I divided it up on four needles. And then you knit your heel like you would your toe. You do just like a regular toe decrease. I followed Leslie's recommendation and did a few regular rounds to make the heel a little deeper. But they do recommend, a lot of people do, to do a smaller needle size when you pick up the stitches, and you immediately, when you knit, you go up to the bigger needle size, just to make it easier to pick up the stitches. Also use a slippery yarn for your waste yarn to make it so it comes out more quickly, or more easily, I should say. After picking up the stitches and pulling out the waste yarn, I did not use smaller needles, I will say that. All that time you make up by going so fast down the tube, I feel like you lose every bit of it and then some doing that heel, just picking up stitches and pulling out waste yarn. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I think even with the smaller needles, it's still tight. Yeah. So, and then it was just fiddly. I don't know what happened. I missed a stitch a couple times. I was dropping stitches and I didn't know how. And the whole experience was maddening and I did not enjoy it. And I'm not a big fan of how it looks, to be quite honest. I do think it turned out nicely for self-striping. That looks great. I didn't block these either, by the way. I just put it on a sock blocker. But, yeah. If I do another one of these, it's just because I want to have another sock to finish it. But I will not be doing the afterthought heel again. And, yeah. That's all I can say about that. I did use my standard that works really well for me is I use 2.25 millimeters for the ribbing at the top, and then I switch out to 2.75 millimeters for the rest of it. And I will tell you, almost 100% of the time, I think that is a true statement, 100% of the time, I usually end up knitting 2 to 3 rounds of stockinette after the ribbing with my 2.25 millimeters because I forget to change out. But then I just change out there and it's no big deal. I don't rip it back or anything. It's only like a couple rows. So I'm getting there, and I do know by some process of elimination there will be no more afterthought heels in my future if I do one more with this pair of socks. So, whips. I only have one whip. Well, I have two. I showed you the Bluebird of Happiness, but I have one more. So I told Emily from the Arctic Knitting Podcast. She's a newer podcaster, and she's in Norway. And she came out with her first sock pattern called Bubblegum Socks. And it's a lace pattern. And I told her I would test knit these for her. Now, unfortunately, I did email her and tell her this. I am way behind the power curve on a test knit. I'm usually never like that. I felt so bad. Thankfully, she has tons of test knitters, but I'm still knitting these. I want to knit these. I want to talk about them. They look super cute. I have no doubt these are going to turn out great. But these are my first lace socks. I just started them, and I'm just got the cuff. I might knit a few more rows on the cuff. Yeah, I'm not done with the cuff. And this is 1x1 ribbing on my 2.25 millimeter carbons. And I am knitting this on. Okay, so this yarn is from Gabby of the Once Upon a Corgi podcast. And this is on her fig base. And it's in the color Winter Storm. I asked her to dye this up for me along with another darker blue because she gave me some in a swap we did, and I saw the minis and I just fell in love with it. I mean, it's just this the best way I can describe it, reminds me of like an icy blue. There's some stellina in it. It's, just different shades of light blue in there. Little bit of creams and like a almost like a gray undertone in some of it. I just think it's really gorgeous, and it's knitting up beautifully. But it's 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. Now, so yeah, okay, couple things. Let me see if I've got a picture that I can show you. Oh, it's really small, but let me show you. I don't think that's going to show up well. But she has a picture in her Ravelry group, Emily from Arctic Knitting Podcast. Newer podcast, great podcast, by the way. Oh my gosh. I've watched all her episodes, and she's a fantastic knitter. I mean, she does some really impressive stuff, like large projects frequently. She's knit her boyfriend sweaters, and he looks really tall. It's a big sweater. But she knits stuff like that all the time. And she has a 4-month-old baby, and she's home right now on maternity leave. And she's pretty amazing. Like, I love seeing what she's working on. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know how this goes. I'm excited about it. And Gabby from Once Upon a Corgi, great yarn. Thanks, Gabby, for doing this. And she's so fun. I love her podcast too. And she's just she's a delight. Like, she just always makes me smile and giggle, and she spins and she sews and she dyes. She has a Etsy shop, Once Upon a Corgi, or it's called Upon a Corgi on Etsy. And she has, I think she's getting ready to do some kits, project bags and yarn. And they were really cool, the ones that I saw her show on her podcast. So if you want to check that out, you should. Oh, let's look at this real quick. Okay, so that's it for my FOs and my whips. This is a bag I just bought, and this is from Stitches Plus Pearls. It's from Becca Stanton. She and I did a swap in December. She gave me a bunch of minis, and she made a bag for me. And I've shown it on the podcast too. It's super cute. It's using some of this fabric here, but it had 3 of the old ladies knitting on it. It's a great bag. I love that bag. I use it a lot. And she just opened an Etsy shop, Stitches Plus Pearls. And her thing, if you've seen her on Instagram, check her out on Instagram. You'll see exactly what she does. But this is what she's known for, really. She does hand embroidery on here, and they have little sayings. And it's a small shop because she's a mother with 3 kids and 3 small kids, and she can only do so much. I mean, this hand embroidery. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 different fabrics on here, and plus she's hand embroidering it. This is Watch Me Whip. And the reason I got this is because my daughter Ruby, who is 2, loves the song. I don't actually know the name of it, but I know all the words to it. Watch me whip, watch me nay-nay. You know what I'm talking about, I think. She loves that song and she dances to it all the time. In fact, she'll point to our phone or any mobile device and, nay-nay, I want a nay-nay. And so we play that a lot because it's just so stinking cute when she dances to it. And so I saw this and I had to get this. I thought this was so cute. And plus the fabric, oh my gosh. Now, this is very sturdy. This is, I mean, clearly I can bend it, but it's got some of that sturdy interfacing. And I find that I really like bags with the sturdy interfacing. I really do. Unless it's a drawstring bag, I like my wedge bags a little bit more oomph, you know? I want it to be able to stand up to my everyday life. And this definitely will. So I love it. Check her out. And she's also donated a bag to us for a future KAL, which I think I'm going to save it for the next upcoming KAL, that one I was talking about with Brittany. Oh, and we are doing that with another podcaster. I keep saying that, and I'm going to check to make sure that, yeah, we're all online with that before I tell you who that third podcaster is. But let me show you that bag. Another one, watch me whip. So I love this. This is cute. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. I love these darker colors. These black with this big hit of red here, and then the back. Look at that with the floral print. That's super cute. I didn't show you the interior. She does. It's this real sturdy canvas-like material on the inside. So that will be a upcoming giveaway. Okay. So there is that. And she also gave me some stitch markers, which I thought are adorable. 2 sets I have with little owls and the colored ones here. I don't know if you can see those. Those are little bitty. Probably, maybe, I don't know. They're super cute. These are mine. And I will probably put this with the bag as a giveaway. I think these are so cute. Thank you so much, Becca. These are beautiful. I am so pleased with my bag. All right. So we're kind of already in Stash Enhancement in case you didn't catch that. All right. I got just 2 more things on Stash Enhancement, I think. Yeah, I do. Okay. So, I'll show you this. So here, this kind of ties together. Becca, who made the bags, when she gave me minis, there was a bunch of minis in there that I really liked. They were just really fun. I love the colors. They were great. The Yarn at Home Mom, that's what they were. So through Instagram and through Becca, I made a connection with Shannon, who does the Yarn at Home Mom. And she just started a sock club, 3-month club with a Disney inspired theme. So I just got my first installment, and this is Lady and the Tramp. And she included a little Lady and the Tramp pull for your bags, and this beautiful colorway with, oh, I love this. I don't know why more people don't do this. I'm guessing that not everybody is into this, which I don't know why, but I love coordinating yarn to go for heels and toes. And this is perfect, because there's these yellows and purples and greens. I mean, these are just, oh, and there's a little bit of speckling going on in here. Looks like dark purples in here. It's beautiful. Oh my goodness. This is great. I'm so pleased with this. And she also included, I know you guys may not care about this, but I had to show this, okay? I got a little extra. There's like a little tea here, chai black tea, which I didn't think I liked chai tea. I really do. With sixlets. Now, if you've never heard of sixlets, you're probably younger than me. This is kind of a little bit of retro candy. It's a little hard chocolate shell with some chocolate on the inside, and it's not a particularly like off the charts gourmet chocolate or anything like that, but it reminds me of when I was a kid, and I love these. Love these. I have not seen these in I don't know how long. So when she put these in here, I was just so tickled. I love it. Way to go. Thank you. You made my day. You have no idea. Thank you, Shannon. This is so great. So, she has a lot of yarn on Etsy, the Yarn at Home Mom. So, if you're interested, check her out. And then, okay, so I have a yarn bucket list. You know, people have a bucket list, things they want to do before they die. I have a yarn bucket list, yarn I want to knit with before I die. So one of those is Plucky. I scored a sweater's quantity of Plucky last weekend. Here is one skein of it. The rest of it's right here. I got this from Church Mouse Yarn and Tees. I order from them a lot online. I think they're based in Washington State. And yeah, they had sent out, I'm on their newsletter, so I knew they were having a Plucky update that weekend. And they usually have, Plucky did a line of colors just for Church Mouse. And they do a lot of dyers like that. They'll have them come up with special colorways for them. I wasn't going to do it. Just like, you know, put it out of your head. Don't think about it. Really wasn't that kind of a payday for a Plucky knitter, to be honest. But then they sent a reminder email out that day. And I thought, oh, I don't know if you've ever read about how to get Plucky yarn. It's not easy. Like even their updates. It's very, I've read a little bit about how they do it. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. So I thought, you know what? Don't think, just do it. And it went that quickly. I went online. I kind of had an idea when I looked at it a while back. Well, that week when they sent out the first notice, I thought I would do a sweater. I just knew that right away. And thought, well, don't just buy something to buy something. You know, have a little bit of a plan. And there was a couple pullovers that I would definitely knit. And I got an idea of how much yarn I would need. And so I ordered 7 skeins of their Primo worsted. It's 200 yards, 75-25. It's 75% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, and 5% nylon. And it's called I Want Some Mora. And it's this deep pinkish red. I don't think that's a really good, what would I call this? Like a berry color. It's berry color, deep berry color. And it's so soft. And I'm excited. I am so excited. I think I'm going to make myself knit a pullover or two, a sweater or two before I use this. I have never, with the exception of the cardigan, knit myself, you know, a whole sweater for myself. So I don't want any surprises with this. I want this to be a very, very good experience. So I think I'm going to do a couple here really soon. I have a couple on the needles. I think I'm gonna have to rip one of them out. No, I actually think I have to frog both of them, but they're relatively straightforward and simple. But I've crossed one off my yarn bucket list. Well, I purchased it. I haven't knit it yet, so I'm excited. Had to share that with you guys. Plucky knitter so far. Yeah, it's amazing. I hear my daughter upstairs. We have so much going on in the house. That's really all I have for you guys. Yeah, I covered my whips and my FOs and KALs and Stash Enhancement. I'm looking around to make sure there's nothing else I left out. I don't think so. Yeah, it's been a little busy here. A little busy and a little not. It's kind of a bit of a contradiction right now going on. A lot to stay on top of with just normal family stuff that's going on. And then there's been just some time that I've actually just been kind of stepping back from social media in particular. Love social media, but yeah, I can get lost on social media for quite a while, and I really want to be more productive and focus. but I still want to connect with everybody. So trying to draw those healthy boundaries. But I've been a little bit more intentional about it this week, and it's been nice. It's been really nice. Super Bowl party tomorrow. I had to ask my sister who's playing. Didn't even know. The Broncos and North Carolina, right? The Panthers, I think. So we go into our next door neighbors and hanging out with some people from the neighborhood. And yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. Putting out some resumes for some new jobs, trying to find some new employment opportunities in some other avenues, possibly. We'll see. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to wrap it up here. It's been an interesting podcasting experience this time around for it. It's been all right. It's been good. I'm glad I got to spend some time with you guys. So no matter what, that's always good. But I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you make something beautiful. Until next time, bye.